Hey guys, camera rocking and rolling here. That's Christina Blackfeather. Trying this on the easel today. That might be too, yeah. I don't know. Let me see if I can still figure out where I'm going with this camera. Of course, we might work down here, so. Sorry, don't you love my hand? The problem is I have to take the thumbnail while holding the phone. So I can't really get the phone set up beforehand. Otherwise it won't let me type in the title or anything like that. Yay, YouTube. Alright, where is my tray? There it is. Okay, gonna do the usual checks here. Oh, yeah, of course I'm competing against a boxy cat right now. Oh, and the Paranormal Encyclopedia. Alright, yeah. Showing up. Awesome. Okay, do I have sound? Yes. Alright. Making my edits. So, this is Christina Blackfeather from Blackfeather Crafts. And I am doing another live stream for the Digital Hammurabi channel for their the scholarship fund that they've got going. And I also am allowing a full chat, of course. There will be music in a moment. If I can get past this stupid new setup that YouTube's got. Still editing a moment. And one more thing. All right, good. Oh my word, some days I just absolutely hate YouTube. Sorry, YouTube gods, but I think your improvements have made it more clunky. Alright, now, pop over to Facebook. Okay. And Twitter. All right. Finally, let's get a little tunes going here. Where the heck is my iTunes? Setting up is so much fun. There we go. I'm officially started. I have to kind of roll back and forth to watch live chat, and I apologize in advance. Let me grab my reference photo for the dragon. I'm gonna plump him into the live chat. And then let's give you guys Digital Hammurabi while we're at it too. Oh, hey, I'm competing with Shannon Q. Great. Some days one just gives up. There. All right. A little extra light. Got some daylight going here too. Not much left, but just enough. Got water, and I do have a sugar-free pear Red Bull because, well, I needed the extra caffeine tonight. I have to work all night, so caffeine is kind of a thing. And this looks like I am gonna have to move this. This would work fine if the canvas was further back, but it works so much better on the easel board. So forgive me guys for trying to set up my art room. Good Lord. I never know how things are gonna work until I start doing it. And I feel bad for you guys because, like, this ends up sucking. Oh, for Pete's sake, now what? Cranking the clamp down. There we go. For a minute I thought I broke it. All right, there's the wolf. Okay, so there's a full view of the dragon. And we're gonna go to the front legs today, I think. I'm doing this in acrylics. And the whole drawing was freehand, so there are a few proportion issues here and there, but nothing major. Let's get him up so I can look at that leg. Okay. So there is I got the crack in the wrong spot. Well, this is a division in the brick. But there's also a crack right here. I got the divisions in the bricks in a little bit wrong spots, but oh well. Colors I'm using today, again, this entire dragon has been done with a mix of just Deco Art black, because it's what I have handy, I'm not very wealthy. The lime green apple barrel, or kiwi, pardon me. Just a dandelion yellow from apple barrel. Leftover Craft Smart white. I love the flow of this one, but I can't find it anymore. And my most expensive piece of this whole thing is my abused Liquitex Raw Sienna soft body paint, which I'm hoping is going to last the rest of this dragon. Because I'm going to cry if he doesn't. And I'll have to go and get some more paint before I can finish the dragon, because I want to keep the same tones I'm working with. Oh, and it is not coming out of here anymore. Oh. There we go. This Liquitex is older than the hills, and I'm trying to use it up because I don't want to waste it. I know I can get more of it. If anything, I'll take the palette knife and I can scoop it out of there when I need it. So let's see, where's my palette knife? Looks like a dangerous little tool. Oh yeah, it's a pretty minor crack in the front of his leg there. And hey, nobody's watching anyway, so might be just me all on my own. I'm gonna have to find more of this Craft Smart oil too, or water acrylics as well. Got such a nice flow to it. It's my go-to for my pencil paintings as well when I add the white dots to everything. That's a dark chocolate. That's not the same. There's a very, very minute amount of green down here in the leg. Yeah, and then I squirt out a whole bunch anyway. Hey, why not? Oh, ouch. Sorry, my left shoulder's bugging me today. My best painting friend that has been with me about 30 years. This poor towel has been through so much. It originally had like pumpkins on it or something, but it's really, really beat up. It's my best friend for painting. Sorry, trying to get the phone cord or the charger cord out, because if I don't, out of my way. I have to keep the phone charging while I'm doing these live streams. Okay, so let's get that crack built in there first. My style's a little bit along the lines of looking like oils when it comes to the acrylics, because I started out painting oils. I have my first 2 oil paintings. Should someday put them on camera. After this bout of painting today, then I will be doing my workout before work. crack in there. Now the color of the brick right there is actually a little bit more yellow than in other parts. And because this is bas relief, shading is really not a huge issue. I wouldn't be getting realistic shading with this, except for trying to get a little bit more three-dimensional look. Especially since the light is coming from the top down on the bas relief. Let's get all that brown together. There we go. I had somebody ask me last time if I was just doing prep work painting for doing detailed scales later. And I'm not. I'm trying to mimic the textures that were found. These were originally tiles as a bas relief mural, and so I'm trying to get that same kind of look. He just might, you know. He might open that seal. Oops, I keep looking in the wrong spot. I need the image. Okay, there we go. All right, some more yellow here. And actually more rounded there too. That's working out pretty good. I'd like to get a lot more done on him today before I go working out. I want to get to these background tiles. Well, there's no scales on the legs, so the legs are probably going to go a little faster. Oh, and hi, Happy Jesus. I just woke up not too long ago, so it's like my brain is just a little on the floofy side yet. Get that brick line in there. Okay. And let's make that a little bit more dimensional right there. Okay. Oh gosh, no kidding. I dreamt about Trump. It's like I could just cry. It was really bad. Cause he was there was some like public fair or something, and I was doing some public needle felting demonstration, but I was sitting on the ground doing this demo, and everybody announced that the president's here, and I'm like, oh, fantastic, and I really can't move, I'm doing this demonstration, and along comes Donald Trump and his entourage, and so he started trying to talk to me, and I had to stand up to greet him, and I wasn't too happy about it, and he tried to give me a kiss on the cheek, and it was like this wet toddler kiss. It was really gross, and with these god-awful soft mushy lips, it was just disgusting, and the fact that I remember that is just terrible. And then he said, or came out with something like how I looked really unhappy. And I'm like, well, yeah, because things are just falling to crap, you know? And he says, why, healthcare is great, and this is great, and this is great. And I'm like, healthcare is not great. This is what's going on in my house. Well, you could always find another hospital. I remember that now, that's one of the things he said. And then he went up to, Barbara Walters was broadcasting from this booth down at the end of this street. And he went up to her and told her I was a Nazi and a fascist. And so she started announcing it to everybody. How awful I was. And I'm like, okay, that's why you do not watch Von Helton before you go to bed. I woke up and I'm like, ew, just wrong. Oh, it was just, that was the weirdest darn dream. I woke up so confused, like, really? Where was my brain? Oh, I keep going to the wrong one. Hey, Paranoia. Yeah, it was a dream. I'd have rather dreamt about Ryan Reynolds, but, you know, hey. That's what I get for watching the Space Marine. That was absolutely hideous and confusing. And what Barbara Walters had to do with any of it, I'm still really confused by that as well. Okay, so we're getting a little bit more worn on the next panel. A little bit more black and torn up right here. Hey, this music is fitting for talking about dreaming about Donald Trump. Brown in that. Awesome. And there's quite a bit of yellow right there. And right there is a little darker. Looks of the tiles being run down. It's just still the most interesting thing to me about this whole piece. Stuff is worn off. Hubby and I want to do a trip to Detroit and actually see this panel. But there's like nothing nearby the Detroit Museum of Art to actually go see. So we'd have to travel another hour or two past that just to go find stuff to do. Because Detroit is that run down. It's kind of sad. And this was the original panel, the one mayor or something was going to try and sell just to get money for the city. They were going to sell off a lot of their artworks. Yeah, Barbara, let's talk. Yeah, it's the Halloween costume. Yeah, I made the mistake of listening to first last night was his thing on how not to be a pagan, and he was going by some troll that was bugging him. And then this morning was his thing about the New Zealand shooting. And he's claiming that he's got a copy of, or that some guy's got a copy of the manifesto from the New Zealand shooting. And so played a clip of this video claiming this guy's claiming he has the manifesto. Needless to say, didn't show it. And how it's just set up to make war in America between the gun owners and those who are not, and how most gun owners are conservatives and all of this stuff, and how it's just to try and get civil war in this country and all this. And yeah, right, provide evidence, please, you know. And just because some guy claims it on the internet, we all know that things Vaughn has claimed on the internet are not true. So why does he think we're going to believe just some other random person that he found on a conspiracy site, you know? But yeah, that's fun. I know his live stream where he went off on the people who were upset about the New Zealand shooting ended up getting taken down because several of us reported it, including me, and I will admit to that freely, because it was so hateful and all it was doing was inciting more violence, and it's like, no, that's just not appropriate, sorry. I had too much blended on my brush there. Okay. There we go. There actually is not a brick line in the foot right here, but I'm going to try and add one in. Because that's where I had screwed up, but you know, it is what it is. Blend that in too. Okay. There we go. That's better. Ugh, still can't get that dimensional look right there. There we go. Got it. At least the legs are a little bit simpler because they don't have all the detail that the rest of the body has with the scales. Oh. Okay. Well, you know, that's fine to me. I mean, comments like that, you know, people have their own opinions. For anyone who watches later and can't see it, this Vladimir Nabokov said he recognizes my talent, but he prefers Mike Fall's style. Okay, now I gotta look up Mike Fall. He's abstract, I guess. Oh yeah, it's different than what I'm doing, but what you don't realize is I'm actually copying a specific panel. Well, you don't have to go anywhere. You just got to realize that, you know, this is something that I'm actually doing that I'm trying to make look like somebody else's piece of art. So this isn't my actual, my actual art here. This is not my normal painting style. I'm doing this for a specific purpose. But it is kind of silly to turn around and go after somebody without knowing what they're working on first, you know? Yeah, he is, except he's going to find that the only one who's going to enjoy the schadenfreude is me. Because he's looking pretty ridiculous. It's again to that principle of, you know, don't go attacking something if you don't know a thing about it. And everybody has their personal preferences, and that is just fine. What did I have back there? Oh, group fell over. Muslims will be... Do you have a link about seeing the military-style assault rifles in New Zealand? Are you talking about the rest of the populace or the Muslims themselves? Oh. Yeah, that one, you know... Except that those assault rifles are going to be wielded by people who are trying to protect innocent people, and that includes those Muslims that did nothing except try to come to New Zealand for safety and, you know, for a better opportunity in life. It's just, it's no different than my family coming to the United States. Post-World War II. Yeah, exactly. Yeah. I'm glad he likes the art videos, but, you know. I'm a firm believer that you need to gauge people on their actions, not on their religious beliefs and things like that. I know they were in a sanctuary. And yeah, my mother came from a very war-torn civilization or nation, and that's why I'm here. I get that on a level that other people don't. Okay, so scales are starting to move upward. All right. And I'm sorry if I'm not responding very fast to comments. It's because I have to keep rolling back and forth here. Okay, so make sure I don't go painting too far there. I'm kind of screw everything up. Okay, so we're gonna have the white coming from this way. We need a little bit of green up here. We didn't need it in that front leg, but we definitely need it up here. Yeah, all those people wanted was a place to feel safe and get away from tyranny, and that's why they're refugees and immigrants, and to be murdered because you just came into a country is utterly ridiculous. And that's what it was. It was just murder. Those poor people didn't deserve that. A little more yellow, more white. Grab that. Okay, there we go. Alrighty. Now, sorry if my hand's in the way. Sure it is. Yeah, doggone it. No way I can do that. Get around that one. I really apologize for that. Let's see. Wow, chat went crazy. Yeah. Yeah. Yeah, that's kind of true. I think what he was trying to do basically is just get a rise out of me and kind of failed. Okay, I have to keep in mind that the dark pattern is not going to be on this side. And again, I am sorry, I'm trying to get out of the way here. I just think if I was doing something wrong, I wouldn't be getting, I wouldn't have trolls. So I must be doing something right. I think what kind of gets them though is the fact that they really can't get by with anything because, I'm going to take it all in stride and just go, well, here's the facts. As soon as you hit them with facts, it's kind of, it's really hard for them to keep going with what they're doing. Okay. It's like still, Shadow Heathens for a long time was, I haven't heard from him. I hope he's doing okay, but he was laughing because I was in one hangout with him and some guy tried to come in and started talking about his male embellishments and how he had some sort of infection or something. And he was going, what do I do and what do I do with this? And I got all clinical on him and I thought Shadow was going to fall on the floor laughing, because I just went total nurse on this guy. And I'm like, well, has your doctor seen this? Has your doctor prescribed this? What medication has he prescribed and everything? And the guy shut up. It was just the best thing ever. Of course, 13 Heathens was losing his crap, I'll tell you. It trolls with facts, and it's kind of hard for them to get a rise out of you. And And they don't have anything to get off of on, you know. Okay, good. All right. There's some of these edges here will be cleaned up with once I get the blue tiles in. No, he really didn't. Yeah. And that's interesting. I've lived over 900 years and I've never met someone unimportant. I don't know what he's doing. He had multiple strokes again, and he's been worried about his cognition and everything else, so I haven't heard from him probably a couple months now. Of course, I don't watch a lot of the hangouts that he's been in, you know, that he was in the past. Like, I really don't pay much attention to what goes on in Dragnot's hangouts and stuff like that. So I have no idea. I just know he was having it pretty rough for a bit, so we'll see. Okay, that looked like that was actually wearing off a little bit on that part. I'm gonna pull some of that detail out of there, out of that spot. Smear it. There we go. All right, and the next one is a little more pale, but it's also got the white brick line coming through it. So let's get that first. It actually was a crack. It was supposed to be brick line, but it came out as a crack. Dragon got crack in his back. Well, this is more tail. Hey, shapely dragon, but he got cracked there too. Yes. Crack happens. Yeah. Yeah, he's actually had several more from what I understand. So, I don't know. I really like him. He's actually the one who kind of rescued me from a disaster of my first YouTube experiences being G-Man and Brett Keane. And I had met Shadow on a Brett Keane hangout, but it was like he was my first hangout, and then my second ever hangout I was in, G-Man was in there, and both of them G-Man and Brett set me off so darn bad. And I didn't know I also was coming down with the flu, so it ended up with me leaving the hangout and having to go throw up for several hours. Maybe that wasn't the flu, maybe it was G-Man. But oh my gosh, I got so sick, and G-Man was saying that I needed to be put in jail for vaccinating my kids and all of this stuff, and Brett came down on me, backing G-Man up completely, and it was like, you've got to be freaking kidding me. Now I just kind of take Brett with a grain of salt, although I don't watch him anymore. After he went and false flagged Skylar Fiction recently because of Brett's best buddy Matt Powell, the preacher who thinks that all gays should be executed. That guy's a real tool in 3/4. Oh my god. Matt Powell is hideous. I mean, you gotta hand it to Brett that he does get some characters on there. I mean, he's had Jeff Holiday on there. He's had a lot of other people that show up to talk and gets a cast of characters in there. Right now he's got a Buddhist who I guess was former evangelical Sister Sunshine that I saw some of her old stuff and I was like, oh, holy crap. she was way off the evangelical deep end. And so now she's Buddhist, I guess, although she's interesting to listen to, but after Brett did his false flagging thing, I'm like, yeah, I'm done with that. Because the other one who got false flagged, of course, was Digital Hammurabi, and all they did was critique Matt Powell. And it's like, holy crap. You have an actual biblical scholar and a Mesopotamian specialist and a Syriologist critiquing you, and you get all butthurt, and yeah, they got all butt work. Yeah. I don't know, I'd be scared to give that toy to the children. Oh, yeah. And he's very good at his tantrums. Gotta admit that. There's some beautiful tantrums that come out of that one. Well, I took him off of my list of people in Dragon Coast that as patrons or people that have helped out with the channel, because yeah, he donated to me, to my GoFundMe back in October. What I did not know is that he had gotten the money from Shani. And he was supposed to be using that money for other expenses. Now, Shani didn't know that he had donated to me either. I'm the one who figured it out. Just want to clarify that right away. But, yeah, so I was like, holy cow. You know, so she was actually glad that it went to somebody who needed it. But, you know, there was a whole bunch of stuff going on there too, of course. So yeah, G-Man has burned so many bridges. There we go. That's better. Let's get a little bit more brighter yellow in here. There's no scales on this panel, but I think I'm going to add a few scales in, just to make it look like it's wearing out. I'm not going to be very consistent. There. They are fading away. That's what I'm missing, is a little green. My husband wants, or his sister is a professional photographer and also a historian, does genealogical studies and stuff for the Historical Society. And we're going to have her take photos of this piece before it gets sent off to whoever buys it in the auction. Oh yeah. 3-year-old maturity wise. Yeah, he's unique. That's all I gotta say there. All right, next piece. Actually, what Vladimir referred, this Mike Fall, the guy's actually really good. I think I'll put that in there too. Put that in the live chat. His stuff is actually really decent. there. Oh, and sure, Digital Hammurabi again. Oh, that one's got some good stuff, though. Actually, I think I've seen his work face to face. There's Digital Hammurabi. Okay. And then the image I'm going off of, which, like I said, is not anywhere exactly the same, but it's my interpretation. Alright, so next section of his tail. Yeah, he did have scales up that portion. So the next one is more blackened and wore out and a little thinner. So we're going to make that come down like this. Yeah, 8 o'clock I'll be ending this tonight because I have to work out and then take a bath and get ready for work and everything. And then Tuesday I am picking up my one set of dragon wings. The other set I'm going to have 2 different styles of dragon wings for my costumes. Getting more fairy dragons, but they're in reds and yellows. And I'm meeting with that gal to pick them up because we're about 14 minutes away from each other. And it was kind of neat to be able to not have to deal with shipping. So she's refunding me the shipping I paid through Etsy with cash, so then I can go to the store nearby and get some groceries while I'm at it. Yeah, it's one of those weeks again. Okay, we're going to make that thinner right there. Make this look like a tile piece. Sorry, start talking quiet again. I like that real impressionistic look right there. That's good. They might be, I don't know, I've seen that guy on Vaughn's channel though, so I think that's where he found me. Got a suspicion. I really think that's where he found me at. Okay. Now the next piece is just going more browns, and the scales are somewhat showing up. Okay. Well, yeah, that Vladimir was along the lines of, you know, people that come up to your booth at shows and go, yeah, I can do that. Why are you charging so much? I can do that better. And the thing is if he would have just been nice and asked, you know, I have absolutely no problem sharing other artists. But no, I've seen him on Vaughn's channel. I'm gonna get the Hilton wannabes, or the Hilton lovers there, I guess. And it still is really sad to me. You know, I didn't want that friendship to go the way it did. I didn't want that to, you know, there were things that were likable about the guy, but he's become so paranoid and so hateful that it's impossible to be a friend with somebody like that. Okay, a little more yellow. Let's throw a little more green in there too. The scales are a lot smaller up here. There we go. What am I doing? There we go. Forgot what I was doing there for a minute. Alright, and let's smudge some of these out. Kind of fun to do impressionism for a bit from all the really high detail stuff that I normally do. This is very relaxing. Let's throw a little more yellow in there. I kind of over-greened him. Okay, a little better. Get my brush too loaded with paint, and then it's hard not to get things to look muddy. What are you doing? Yeah, looks ugly. It's mud. More brown back here. Okay, I like the texture of that part. That works. Okay, next one. That one's very light. Let's see what chat's doing. Oh, nothing. Okay. Light and a lot more sandy colored. And thinner. I was looking at Legends of Aria today. Again, I made the mistake of watching Marquis Dragon, who's one of them that he's so famous from Ultima Online. And the guy had remembered me too, because I had some notoriety as well, but he was one of the GMs and stuff for a while, and so I think he's one of the developers for Legends of Aria. And so I was watching his Twitch today. And I don't know. I don't know if I want to get back into a game where I have to be like on 24/7, you know, to handle the taxes for a building and all of that stuff. It was just... And then dealing with the player killers again and all of that. I just don't know. I miss Ultima, but dang, I mean, I was making a lot of money on Ultima as well, but I had to spend a lot of time in it. And I had 3-4 accounts at once and everything else, and he's doing the same thing right now. And his Twitch only had like 85 people watching, and I'm like, how are you affording all of this time? You know, and I understand that's all he does, but it was like, that's a lot of time to be spent doing that stuff. And I just don't know if I want to get back into that sort of thing. I do enough with Minecraft and No Man's Sky and stuff when I'm off camera, or making jewelry, or my dragons. The only problem is right now they don't have it released to Steam yet for Legends of Aria. So it's not as big of a player base, and now would be the time to get established. But I don't even have the $30 to buy the game, so just no point. But it's like, I miss that game style though. And the player killers didn't even bother me too much because I had alliances with so many of them because I was selling them supplies and selling the good guys supplies and stuff. I had 3 pretty active shops in very, very good locations. And I had alliances with a lot of the player killer groups. Because, hey, I was supplying all the stuff they needed for PvP. But back then, too, you were able to sell gold on eBay and stuff from the game. So I was buying the gold on, you know, from eBay sellers. I think including Marquis a few times. And then turning around and buying supplies where I found they were really, really cheap. Teleport quickly back to one of my towers, or room recall, and then go and make the actual supplies for, you know, like the healing potions and the poison potions and stuff like that. Because I had GM and alchemy and stuff. And I made an awful lot of money. I kind of miss that, but those days are gone. Yeah, and be busy, not a zombie. eBay doesn't allow for that kind of selling anymore. This dragon's a lot darker than the original, but I don't mind it. I kind of like the way he is. I really like the way he is. I kind of miss those games. Hubby and I played EVE Online for a while too, but you know, it's just EVE for one has got it where you can actually purchase into the economy and you can pay for game time with in-game currency and stuff like that. So some of the ships and stuff are actually really expensive in real life. And they've opened it so much for PvP, unfortunately, that anybody can lose like something that's worth over $1,000 in real life. And we're both like, no, done with that. Don't want to deal with that. So we quit doing it, and we're both leery of joining further games like that. More yellow. Here yellow, here yellow. Oops. A little bit more yellow than I wanted. Well, that works out really nice. Okay, I gotta stand up. I'm too short. Okay, so the tile lines are actually running right along here. Okay. Go. Next live stream, we might get the whole back legs done. Oh, that's going to be exciting. Then I start working on the tiles, the background tiles. I'd be super thrilled with that. Really happy he's progressing the way he is. I think even the god Marduk would be happy. I am doing him justice. Darker under here, under this spot, according to the actual image. That's not the brush scrubbing on the canvas, that's my hand. When I used to play my 12-string guitar, which I gave to my daughter because I can't play anymore, we did a concert at my dialysis clinic that I worked at. And we were with a violinist named Taras Umarish, who is, at the time he was my son's violin instructor. So I had my son and myself and Taras, and we played quite a bit and just had a blast. But I used to, for some of the hammering on the strings, because I'd be doing a pluck and then hammering, and so all along here, even though I practiced this daily and everything, I still got bloody right along here, and then on my knuckles because of the way that I would hammer down on the guitar. But it came out sounding really good. All right. I miss playing guitar. But my daughter joins in with bands, and it's, you know, it's her relief from the day, the stress of work and everything else. So she plays, and she has a fretless bass too, customized fretless bass that I bought her one year for her birthday, and she plays that. Oh, he's got scales on the tail too. Scales on the tail. Lighten that up right there. And there's lots of tiny scales on that tail. Yeah. But they're kind of awkward sizes too. They're not very consistent. So like right here, and there was lots of real tiny ones right in here. It's almost like several different people carved on the same piece. Because then they're a little bit bigger right here. Just really, it is. It's almost like some different people had their hands in this. It's very strange. When anybody comes by and watches this later, regarding the FUPA challenge, my FitnessPal ID is in the description of the video. So you can just join me on there. Bunch of us inspired to buy Amberlynn and her failed 100-day challenge to actually make a 100-day challenge that works. So shout out to Kit Kat Relax, spelled like it reacts. Kit Kat reacts, as in reaction, and Kit Kat like the Kit Kat bar. Okay, Got that piece. Check in the stream. Yeah. Multiple hands pulling that there dragon tail. All right. A little. Let's not over green it like I did earlier. Although that didn't come out bad at all. That actually looks really decent right there. It's coming out a lot more sandy looking. Good. I think they had a little extra lighting coming from somewhere too, because there's more white on the scales on the tail tip coming from this direction. So I don't know what, it might be from another piece that was hanging nearby this or something maybe. But I'm going to add it and give it a little more dimension. Oh, I have to get face painting appliances made before September. Probably going to be doing those on a stream too, making the jeweled pieces that I can just take makeup adhesive and apply to the forehead and then paint around it for like fairy queen designs and stuff. And I have to do those yet. Probably should get those done before I start painting an Ash from Overwatch. Because then I'll be all ready to go for the face painting events. I have 2 of them this year, I think, so far. Oh, I actually really like how that came out. Sweet. Thank you, CD. Yeah, I'm trying to mimic it. It's not exact. It's nowhere near, but this is coming out really decent. Oh, I love the tail. Dang. I am liking that. That tail came out fantastic. And it's a little more lighter here. Camera quake. Here we go. All right, and the divisions in the brickwork are actually white in some of these sections here. Make the table squeak, Feather. In case anybody could hear that squeak, that's what that was. Yeah, those bricks there are more white in the mortar. It's not going to be the black. Come on, there you go. But there's shading there. All right. Yeah, not exact, but it's gonna do enough. I am having just a lot of fun with this guy. Okay, and a little green back here. Boy, I can't get that. Sometimes I even get this messed up. There we go. That's better. All right. Well, the scales are really weird back here. Little brush water. I made sure I'm drinking out of 2 different things today so I don't accidentally drink the brush water. I've done it. Does not taste good. Yes, I still do needle felting. I have another 4-foot long some dragon. He doesn't have a name yet. There's actually going to be a contest on YouTube to name this guy, but he is really big. He was originally Cecilia's armature, but I had made the armature too big. And so I'm like, yeah, okay, I'll remake Cecilia and make sure it's smaller, and then I ended up with the same size armature. So he's been sitting in my closet for about, oh gosh, probably a year and a half. And I took him out. I'm like, you know, I got this armature sitting there. I might as well work on it. Kind of silly not to. But he actually drapes over my shoulder really nicely. But he's going to have a name. Of course, Grampy Lobster has got Snaggletooth. My little red that I did with a single tooth sticking out of his mouth. And that was for Mrs. Lobster for Valentine's Day. So they're turning around and saying that, you know, they've had to teach Snaggletooth the fire codes and, you know, to be careful with the wild parties. It's just Grampy did an entire video about the piece I did. It was so cool. I get a lot of my wool. There's this particular seller on eBay. Second. I buy from them all the time because they've got very, very good quality wool. And you can get it anywhere up to 20 pounds at a time. Watch list. I think they're on my watch list. Oh no. Needlecrafts and yarn. But it's mostly merino wools that I use. Oh hey, I don't need to watch those drum carters anymore. Got one. Where is it? Saved sellers? Please tell me I saved them. If I did, they're so far down the list, I have no clue. Alright, let's see. Now you got me going. It's been a while since I bought some, so a little roving. Some of it, the people I get it from, some of their wool roving is, it ends up having a kind of a bit of sheep smell to it, and they do wash it and everything, but especially their plain white. But you just put a dryer sheet in the bag with the wool roving, and that's all you have to do, and it gets rid of it. These are the guys I get it from. I don't know if they ship to the UK. And they sell more than one colors too. Hi Mandy, how are you doing? For those who don't know, Mandy's kind of my niece. I've been best friends with her mom since we were both 11 years old, so 40 years this year. And Mandy's her daughter, and she's my niece. I'm her crazy aunt. Actually, if I could, I'd take Mandy as one of my own kids. I swear I could adopt like every kid around. Well, my daughter's got a new girlfriend too, so I'm excited to meet her someday. My son's been with his girlfriend forever and a day, so those two, his girlfriend is one of my kids. There's just no way around it. I adopt everybody. I have one other friend that I met back then that still friends with, and then my high school boyfriend who went in the military, and so we didn't go any farther, but it's really kind of funny because I never kissed him. Mandy's mom did, and we still joke about it. And all three of us are still friends. It is just absolutely hilarious. Living that life without any animosity and, you know, just enjoying each other's company, period, you know. And all three of us have been just... And I met him because of Doctor Who, because he had Doctor Who stuff on his folder at a speech meet, because he was from a different school. And he'd drive up to come and see me and stuff like that, and drive like 4 hours, you know, and stuff just to come see me, and it was pretty cool. Some of my good memories from high school, there weren't too many, but choir, art, and speech, basically. Computer labs weren't too bad either, though. I had very few friends, but the ones I did have stuck with me all these years. Let's get a little bit more yellow and green in here. Start filling in these scales. A little bit of white. This here I'm still not overly fond of. There, that's better. All right, straighten up a minute. Oh, did you guys have fun out there? Exactly, no point being grown up if you can't be childish sometimes. Yep. Tell Tom and Mom and Dad that I say hi back. Hubby's in the other room, although he'd probably say hi too. What time have we got? I should be able to get one more section done, although I'm getting a kink in my back. Which is not good. So I think what I'm going to do is try to do a little correction right here, because this, I'm still there. There we go. That was kind of driving me crazy. There, better. Blended a little better. Okay. Yep, I'm starting to get a kink in my back. No, he's actually off of a real piece of art, so that's still that panel's jumping out way too much. I don't like that. That's a bugging me. I have to fix that. Jumping out way too much. What is this? There's too much black in there. Squeaky table. There we go. There we go. A little less color looking so drastic from the rest of it. Okay, that's better. Alright, fixed it. Alrighty. Well, I think I'm going to call it. I'm going to try to stream again this weekend. And we'll get his legs finished. So thank you for popping in, everybody. You have a great night. Blessed be everyone. Remember, smash the like button, subscribe, and share. All right, love you, Paranoia.